All right, welcome to this video. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to balance fitness, business, and your personal life, which is something that a lot of people struggle with, including myself. Now, I've struggled massively with this because I've constantly used business as an excuse to not be in shape. I've used business as an excuse not to have a social life. And I've used a lot of different things as excuses for a lot of different things. And I see a lot of people repeating the same patterns. And I want to share the things that I used to get out of that excuse making paradigm for myself. And also how I hold myself accountable when I find that excuse making mindset starting to come back in, because we're all human and there's always different points along the journey where it can feel overwhelming with how much workload you have inside of your business or your career or whatever else you got going on, or within your relationship, especially if you're a parent. It can feel overwhelming having kids and stuff, etc. That makes it hard to stay focused on your goals. So I'm going to share some stuff that I've learned for myself, as well as stuff that I've used with clients, because obviously I'm a single guy, which has its own set of time commitments as far as like dating, having a social life, all that stuff. But I also have a lot of clients who are married, which has its own set of time commitments, and obviously having kids. And I even have guys who work up to 100 hours a week and have kids who still make it happen. And I want to share their secrets with you today. So first off, let's just talk about what it means to have a rhythm, right? Because at the end of the day, you're in a rhythm right now. Like the different things that you do on a daily basis, like brushing your teeth, going to work, taking care of your kids, maybe hitting the gym, maybe cooking food, maybe ordering food if that's you right now, whatever different things you do on a daily basis, getting ready for bed, going to bed, waking up, having your coffee in the morning, hitting snooze, checking your social media. These are all things that kind of run on routine, and these are your current habits, okay? And these things kind of run automatically. It's kind of like if you have a program on your computer that's just kind of running in the background, it kind of just does this thing. You don't have to like go turn the program on. You don't have to say, hey, let me remember to brush my teeth today. Let me remember to wake up today. I mean, I guess you set an alarm clock, but there's little things that you don't have to remind yourself to do. You don't have to force yourself to do them. You just do them because they're your habits and they're your rhythms. And it feels weird if you don't do them, right? Like your teeth feel dirty if you don't brush them, right? If you're in the habit of going to the gym, you feel depressed if you don't go to the gym. If you don't eat, you feel hungry, right? If you don't spend time with your partner, you feel distant or lonely or whatever it may be. Or, whatever habits you have specifically, you know what they are, and they feel weird when you don't do them. You feel off rhythm. So that's the thing, is you can get to that point with every other area of your life. You can get there with everything you need to do in your business or your career to be successful. You can get there with everything you need to do in nutrition, training, sleep, recovery in order to get to your physical goals. You can get there as far as if you're single, going out, meeting people, and having dates and different experiences with people, if that's you right now in your rut with your dating life. Or if you're married and have kids, you can get into rhythm with the different things you need to do to be closer with your kids and have that presence when you're spending time with them, and to be close with your partner despite everything you guys have going on in your chaotic lives. You still come together and connect, right? You can get into those habits, and these are some of the things I help clients with, and these are the things I'm going to help you with today. So the first thing you need to do is you just need to be able to audit your whole schedule. Like, what do you do on a daily basis? Now, this isn't fun, so we're going to make it fun, okay? But if you want to really just sit down and actually break down your entire schedule, that is what I recommend. But maybe like you're watching this while you're driving, listen to this while you're driving, don't watch it while you're driving, drive safe. Or maybe you just don't feel like it, or maybe you're like getting ready for bed and you're just watching this, or maybe you're eating right now and you just have this playing in the background or whatever. So maybe you don't want to do it right now, or maybe you're just lazy, I don't know. But you do need to do it at some point, but why don't we audit it together? So think about what time you wake up, okay? So maybe you wake up at 5 a.m., maybe you wake up at 10 a.m., maybe you wake up at 2 p.m., whatever time you wake up. Now think about what time you want to wake up, right? The ideal version of you who has all the results you want. You have your dream body, you have your dream relationship or dating life, you have your dream business and career and financial situation. Think about that dream version of you just real quick, who's making a lot of money, having a great dating and social life, having a great body, of course. And what time does that person wake up? Maybe that person still wakes up at 2 p.m. Or maybe that person wakes up at 5 a.m. Or maybe that person wakes up at 8. That person wakes up at a certain time of day every single day, and that's kind of their rhythm. And maybe that's different on the weekdays, maybe that's different on the weekends, but either way, that person has a specific time that they wake up and a specific set of actions that person does every single morning. So what's that person's morning routine look like? Do they wake up and they sit in bed and they scroll on social media for 2 hours a day? Or do they maybe have more focus and productivity inside of their life where they wake up really, really early and they get to work right away and they make things happen and they have a great morning routine that gets them into state and gets them clear and everything else, right? So there are some things that we can install within your schedule, and maybe if you've watched some of my other videos, you've heard of some of these things that I have clients do, such as journaling, walking, carrot salad, the different things that we use to optimize both your psychology and your biology to have the most productive day when it comes to your goals, okay? So visualize, what does that person do in the morning, and we can start to create these rhythms, right? Maybe right now, the current version of you wakes up and you wake up late, you hit snooze too many times, you don't have enough time for yourself in the morning, so you start your day off feeling stressed and rushed, right? And then from there, your whole day feels stressful. Your whole day feels rushed. Your whole day doesn't feel as happy and productive as it could be if you took care of yourself first thing in the day. These are some things to account for, because if you don't account for these things, well, guess what's going to happen? you're just going to keep feeling that way. You're going to keep being unproductive, and you're going to keep feeling stressed out and tired. And if you've watched my other video on stress, well, obviously you know what stress does to your body and mind. It doesn't do good things to your body and mind. It does very bad things. Stress makes you gain weight. Stress makes you unfocused, unproductive, unhappy. And guess what that does to either your current partner or your kids or whatever, or your employees or your clients or your coworkers or your bosses or whoever else in your life you have interpersonal relationships with, your friends. It makes you tired, irritable, triggered, stressed out, all that stuff that people don't want to be around. It makes you negative, okay? And you could be the most positive, upbeat person. I'm a positive, upbeat person, but when I'm deprived on sleep, I try, but it really drains you. And you know what? Sometimes I could get angry and snap at people, even though I'm a very nice person. And so it's really important that you take care of yourself and give yourself that time, energy, and space first thing in the day. Now, I know that the parents listening to this are feeling very skeptical. I don't have time. My kids wake up at 2 a.m. and then they yell and scream until, 10 p.m. and I can only sleep 4 hours a night. I don't have time to do anything but take care of my kids. This is an extreme example. But it does irritate me, actually, when people use their kids as an excuse to not work out, to not take care of their mental health, to not take care of their financial situation. They use their kids as an excuse. Now, I know it's difficult, and I know it's a significant obstacle having the time commitment to take care of kids. Likewise, the single people on the other end of the spectrum, oh, it takes so much time to date, I don't have time to date, or it takes so much time to date that I don't have time to sleep, or, whatever else it may be. People are always making sacrifices, and yes, time is our one resource that is finite, that is scarce, that is not in abundance. That being said, how is it that some other people have 24 hours a day, and yet they're able to find the time to do the things they need to do to get the results they want across all walks of life? This is something I had to ask myself, because I constantly felt like I didn't have time to date. I felt like I didn't have time to work out and meal prep as much as I wanted to, because I was working a lot. Ever since 2017, I've been working 63 plus hours I almost said per day, but 63 plus hours per week. Now, for some people, you're working 80 and you're like, oh, that's child's play. Others are working 40 and they're like, holy crap, is that for real? Yes, it's for real. I was working 63 hours a week. I was taking at least 35 client sessions per week back when I was a trainer in the gym. I was managing my staff, and I had a team of 10, so that was 10 hours of meetings per week. I was also doing a lot of sales, which was 10 to 20 hours per week, and I was also doing admin work. And so I calculated the average based on, my Monday was usually from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. My Wednesday was usually from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., so I'd start a little bit later. And my Saturday was usually from 10 a.m. to anywhere from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. But I did the averages of everything, right? And I had, obviously, my Tuesday was a very early day as well, 7 a.m., all that crap. And I calculated it was 63, right? And no wonder I felt so burnt out, tired, and I got out of shape, and I had a belly for the first time in my life instead of a six-pack. And even though I was a trainer, and it was embarrassing, and even though my clients were still getting good results, I was getting crap results because I was overworking myself, and my time management was lacking. My nighttime routines were lacking, where I would, smoke weed to sedate myself every single day after work to come down from all the caffeine I had to take in the morning because I was sleep deprived. But then the weed would keep me up at night because, I'd be, finally enjoying myself after a day of being stressed, and then I would go eat crap, and then I would stay up late till 2 a.m., and then I'd wake up at like 8 a.m. and feel like crap, or sometimes I'd wake up on the days where I had to be at work at 7, I would wake up at like 5, and I would not get enough sleep. Well, I think I'd usually wake up at like 6 those days. I'd really rush my morning routine, and so it's no wonder that I burnt out. Even though I was only 22 to 24 at the time, and I could kind of get away with sleeping 4 to 6 hours a night, my life was in shambles. I had zero dating life whatsoever, which is absolutely terrible and very depressing, right? And this is actually another funny thing, is I'm going to get into this in a sec, but actually installing dates strategically in your schedule, even if you're business focused, whether that's dates with your partner or whether that's dates with new people if you're single, actually helps you prevent yourself from burning out, which was a total game changer for me because it allowed me to have my cake and eat it too. It allowed me to have a dating life, but see a positive benefit in my business as a result, as opposed to seeing, dating as something that takes away time and energy from my business. And likewise with fitness, a lot of people think, oh, if I'm working out all the time, I'm going to be tired. If I'm eating healthy, it's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to be miserable, all that stuff. And it's going to take away time and energy from my business, right? Like I work with, obviously most of my clients are business owners and professionals, and I work with a lot of real estate professionals specifically. I work with people across all industries. If you're a busy professional, this is what you need. But the real estate guys, they have a lot of excuses. Oh, there's alcohol at these social events. Oh, my schedule varies from day to day, all that stuff. Yet I have some real estate guys who are way more successful, way more busy, yet they still make it happen. It's not a time thing. It's a discipline thing. It's not a, capability thing. It's a priority thing. Okay. You need to prioritize your goals. And we could talk about motivation in a sec. That's not the purpose of this video, but if you want me to do another video on motivation, you want to check out some of the other ones I've done to learn how to emotionally leverage yourself to make your reason greater than your resistance so you can actually take action. Well, we'll talk about that because we've talked about that before, and I'm happy to talk about it again. Drop a comment if you want me to talk about that, and I will reach out specifically to you, or just post another video because I'm doing one video a day. So remember, this is the second video in the one video a day series. So we're bringing the fire. Whatever you guys need, whatever's relevant to you guys, you let me know in the comments. We'll do a video on it, guaranteed. So as long as it's not like a stupid question, like how many grams of protein are in a chicken breast? That's like the worst question you could ask because you could Google that. You don't need a YouTuber to tell you this. But anyways, And not to get distracted with that, but again, so you got to be able to really just audit your priorities. So taking it back to your day, right? The whole reason why I introduced the morning routine was I didn't want to feel tired, stressed, triggered, angry, unhappy, unproductive, uncreative, and just reactive in this rhythm of just feeling like crap all day, every day, right? Because that's how I felt in 2017, 2018. At the end of the week, all I wanted to do, literally, this is the imagery I thought of at the time, that literally I felt every single Saturday after work, and even every Friday after work, because I was already burnt out by Friday, was I just want to stick my head in the sand and not come up for air, not hear anybody, not do anything, just not have to deal with anybody ever again. And it was not ever again, but like just for the whole weekend. And it was crazy because I'd show up Monday charismatic, recharged, because I would sleep all day Sunday, and then I'd come in Monday charismatic, recharged, Tuesday charismatic, recharged, Wednesday I'd sleep in a little bit because I start at 10 and I'd kind of catch up on sleep, so I'd be like good. Thursday I'd be a little bit burnt out, Friday I'd be a little bit burnt out, Saturday I was just totally burnt out every single week. It was a terrible rhythm that I was in, but like I said at the beginning of this video, you get into a rhythm and that rhythm becomes very automatic. The Friday 10 a.m. meeting was a 2-hour team meeting for the whole team, was very automatic for me. I was running that meeting and I was giving great speeches and then feeling like crap, tired the rest of the day, right? So it was a very draining schedule, and I wouldn't say it was sustainable, because even though I did sustain it for like 2 years, it wasn't sustainable in the sense that I didn't have a dating life, I was getting out of shape, and I was very unhappy with my life. So what I did when I started my own business was I kind of swung the pendulum the other way. And at first I saw success in my business and I was making more money than in the gym, and I was working, only half as much, 20, 30 hours a week, which was great, because now I was making 100% of what I was charging my clients instead of 40%, which is what the gym was paying me. And even though I wasn't getting like sales commissions or manager, base pay and all that stuff that I was getting at the gym, at least I was making 100% of what I was charging my clients. And so I was able to make basically double what I was making at the gym. Well, double for the time I was spending, because I was spending half the time I was making just about the same, slightly more. Because at the gym I was making like 5-6K a month as manager. And then when I started my own business, I was making like 6 to 8. I mean, it depended on the month, because obviously some months I'd make a bunch of sales, but then I'd have to fulfill those sessions for a long time, because that was the business model I was running at the time. Which, by the way, if you're a business owner, don't charge based on the time, charge based on the result, because then it becomes project based. So it's a better win for the client, because they're paying for the exact outcome that they want, as opposed to for your time, whether or not they get the outcome. So that way, and then you can figure out a more efficient process to get them that result faster, taking less of your time, leveraging yourself, so that it's a win for them, because they're guaranteed to get the result that they're paying for. And so then it just becomes a matter of how much is that result worth to them. And then obviously for yourself, you can leverage yourself, you can cut down the amount of time it takes for you to get the person the result. So it's a win for you, because you make more money for less time spent, and they get better results for the same amount of money spent or less money spent. So it's a win-win. But anyways, that's besides the point. So that was the business model I was running at the time. And because I only had to work like 20, 30 hours a week when I was, when I started my first business, initially, obviously, to just make the same as the gym, but obviously I didn't want to settle for 5-6K a month. I wanted to make more. And then it was funny, because then I had a marketing and sales ceiling, which I talked about in previous videos. But it was cool. So I went out and started dating again and started to have a good dating life, was able to really have a lot of fun. But then I kind of went the other way. And that was kind of where one of my success barriers was, I wasted a lot of 2019 just, not necessarily partying, but just like, I guess, too focused on my social life, but not focused enough on my business. And also, I sucked at marketing at the time, and I didn't really build up those skill sets because I wasn't taking enough action. My mindset was limited, all that stuff. And so I found myself in a position where I was very broke. And so again, July 2019 to, let's see, where was it? I mean, honestly, probably October 2020, I was again focused on business, dating life suffered, got very depressed, all that stuff. Even though I made money and got myself out of debt, it was just not a sustainable cycle. So what I have learned over the years and what I've had to develop within myself and what I've shared with clients, and I'll share some client examples too, especially for the married guys and girls who are listening to this, is you got to find a way to balance it all. And so it comes back to your daily rhythm. And so taking it back to what we originally started with today, it starts off with that morning, okay? You win the morning, you win the day. Now, just like in sports, even if you don't win the first quarter, you can still win quarter 2, 3, and 4, but it makes it a lot easier if you win quarter 1, because then you just ride that momentum for the rest of the day instead of having to have strategic strategies to get your momentum back in quarter 2, 3, and 4, which we have, as well as backup plans, because sometimes things don't go according to plan in the morning. But obviously we want to make sure that we're winning the morning as consistently as we can to make things easier on ourselves. So the best way to win the morning is wake up at least an hour and a half before your first time commitment of the day, so you have time to go for a quick walk, move around, get physical, get some fresh air, get some sunlight if applicable. Obviously if you live somewhere without sunlight like Sweden, half the year, or Alaska or whatever, or maybe you wake up before the sun, whatever, you're still getting fresh air, you're still getting your blood circulation going, and maybe you have some fresh air and sunlight time later in the day, which enhances your creativity, your mood, your energy, your immune system, your vitamin D, fresh air, all that stuff, which is really, really good for you. But anyways, before I digress into that topic, So that's kind of the first thing you should do, because it's going to help you to lower your stress, improve your mental health, improve your physical health, improve your energy, and therefore your productivity throughout the rest of the day as well. And it allows you to also think through different problems, different triggers that are coming up for you, plan your day out, think about ideas, all kinds of stuff that's going to help you be more creative and more productive inside of your life. Now from there, what I like to do after I go for my walk is I will usually journal, and inside of that journal I take inventory of where am I at across the 4 quadrants of my life. This is something I got from Garrett J. White, is the breakdown of body, being, balance, and business, which is kind of the topic of this video. So body being obviously your physical health, being your mental, emotional, spiritual health, balance being your social life, your relationships, your dating life, and then number 4, business being your financial situation, whether that's as an entrepreneur or whether that's as an employee. Okay. So this applies to everybody, because everybody has these 4 areas of your life. And if one of those areas suffers, it affects the other ones and makes us unhappy. We want to have all 4 of those areas taken care of. Otherwise, we end up slipping in this place of apathy. Because let's say you have a decent marriage, although if you're letting your body go, maybe that's going to negatively affect your marriage. But let's say you have a pretty good marriage. Let's say you have a good business. Let's say you're pretty good like mental health and emotional health, and even energy-wise, even though you're overweight, but your physical health is suffering. Well, guess what? That physical health is going to cut your life short. It's going to make you unhappy. It's going to make you tired, stressed, triggered. And I guess in that sense, it would be almost an impossible scenario for somebody to have, an optimal business, an optimal marriage, an optimal mental, emotional, spiritual health while having physical health suffering. But just for the purpose of the example, that physical health will eventually affect your other areas of life. Likewise, if you're crushing it in business, you're in the best shape of your life, you're mentally sharp, focused, and driven all day, but you're super lonely and frustrated because you don't have a relationship and you don't have the social skills or the rhythms to go meet new people, and you're in this rut with your social life, well, guess what? You're going to start getting burnt out. You're going to start getting in your head. You're going to start feeling tired, stressed. Life is going to start feeling meaningless. You're going to lack fulfillment because you're lacking that intimacy and connection that we as human beings are naturally wired to have, because you don't have a social life and relationship, and you're not actively taking action to remedy that and improve inside of that domain of your life. And that's the exact place that I was in many times. And then the other place I was in many times was I was really focused on business, but I was overweight and my relationship was suffering, or my lack thereof, honestly. Or my dating life. So, as a result, my mental health suffered, and then that started to affect my business. So it's funny because you have to take care of all these things. You have to be responsible with all 4 areas of your life, because if you don't, it's going to affect other areas of your life. Likewise, you can be in great shape and have a great social life and have great relationships and all that stuff, but if you're financially broke, that's going to affect your mental health as well. Okay, so you got to take care of all 4, and that's kind of a lot of what this channel is about, obviously starting with fitness, because I believe that when you start with the physical and the mental, but really largely the physical, and optimize your energy, your confidence, your discipline, your mindset through the physical, that then translates positively into your ability to take action and be disciplined and have energy, focus, creativity, passion, positive energy inside of your business and your relationships and social life, to where physical is going to positively affect both of others. But obviously having money helps with the other two too, and having a great relationship helps with the other ones as well. Having a great mental health with all of them. I mean, again, they're all interconnected, and I think I don't really need to explain that anymore, because you probably get the point. But if you still disagree or are confused, comment, let me know in the comments so I can argue with you in the comments and convince you. But I think that I've already convinced you, I hope. So, but if you want me to do another video to clarify or go deeper in this, I'm happy to do so, because again, I want to make the most relevant and best content possible for you. So anyways, this video is getting a little bit long, so let me finish off the last few things I need to say about this. So again, once you win the morning, you win the day. So I like to take inventory of those 4 areas of my life inside of my journaling, because that allows me to get crystal clear on exactly where I'm at, and I encourage you to be grateful for the things you already have in that. So even if you're overweight, say, hey, you know what? Grateful that I don't have, that I've never had a heart attack and that I don't have high blood pressure. If you've had a heart attack, say, I'm grateful that I survived after the heart attack, so I have the chance to remedy my health so that I don't have a heart attack in the future, right? Have gratitude no matter what situation you're in, or if you're shredded, say, hey, I'm very grateful that I look like a Greek god, right? But whatever is relevant to you, you can always find something to be grateful for, even if it's the fact that you have, 2 functioning eyes, or that you have a smartphone in your hand, or that you can breathe clean air, or that you have Wi-Fi, whatever it may be. Just be thankful for those little things inside of all areas. And then also audit the things you want to improve, where it's like, hey, I'm grateful that I survived my heart attack, but I don't want to get another heart attack, so let me remedy my health and lose weight and be healthy. Okay, that's a great way to audit your body, and you do that every single morning. Guess what? You're going to hold yourself accountable. You're going to be motivated. Okay. From there, this is something I learned from one of my mentors, Lynn Tran, and I use this all the time, and I'm pretty sure that he learned it from Garrett J. White as well. But basically, after you take that inventory of yourself, then you want to write down, what are my triggers, what are my fears, hesitations, all these different things, what am I procrastinating on, And so you take inventory of those things, you hold yourself accountable to those things, and then what can I do to dominate today? And that's beautiful, because when you get clear on the things you're hesitating, procrastinating on, you can then dive into the mental resistance, okay? And you can use other tools, like I recommend checking out Garrett J. White's Stack. I use the Stack quite often to work through different emotions and stories to optimize my mindset, and it's incredibly helpful during times where I'm heavily triggered by something. And likewise, I've also used Julian Blanc's Transformation Mastery meditations to help myself let go of certain emotions I was looping on. I also watch a lot of Quasi Joe Here's stuff, which really helps me a lot with being able to process these things and optimize the mindset. So I've surrounded myself with mentors and influences that help me. And likewise, maybe I'm one of those people for you. Maybe some of the other people are these people for you too. Whoever you resonate with, whatever process you resonate with that helps you, I highly recommend it, because if you do these things consistently every day as part of your morning routine, your life's going to get so much better. Now, the Stack does take quite a bit of time. It takes 30, 45 minutes. So it can be a difficult thing to flow into your daily routine. So I usually do maybe like 2-3 stacks a week, and that's what I find works for me. But I kind of just do it as needed. If something heavily triggers me inside of my business, inside of my relationships, inside of usually not my body or being, because those are areas that are a little bit easier for me to handle, because that's more of my area of expertise. But inside of, my business or my balance, even though I do have a lot of expertise in those areas, those are typically the areas that I tend to stack, because those are the areas where I have less expertise than fitness and mindset, where I'd say fitness is an area I have pretty much complete mastery over. Like, I know exactly how to get the exact results I want at any time on demand. And that's something I teach my clients too. So if you're a client, obviously you're learning because you're in all the courses that we do, but you get the idea. And obviously if you're watching my stuff, you've probably learned a lot already. But yeah, so that's kind of my mindset towards these things. And then mindset, I've just done so much inner work, because I used to be so shy, so negative, such a bad mindset I used to have, that I've done a lot of work on that as well. So that's an area where I have certainty, but a lot of my mindset triggers come from, the results that I want to have in my business or in my balance that I'm not producing at the time, that I then need to reframe my stories and change my processes and habits and rhythms to then achieve. So likewise, you might be watching this, and maybe for you, it's the social life element where you want to find more balance there, right? Or maybe it's the business aspect where you want to improve, or maybe you have those two areas handled, or maybe your business is mostly handled, but your physical and mental health are deteriorating because you're so stressed from the business, just like I was in 2017, 2018, that you need to fix that, right? So whatever it might be, audit those things and plan, how can I dominate today? So if you're triggered that you and your wife got in a fight, if you're a married, person, if you're a married, guy, or you and your husband got in a fight, if you're a married, girl or whatever, like, just audit that and say, okay, great. What is causing these fights? Am I doing little toxic things that are pissing this person off? Is this person just toxic intrinsically? Is it both of our fault? How can I fix this, right? What can I do today to improve this? You know what? Why don't I apologize, take ownership, and really lead with that, to really influence my partner to also lead with that and take ownership for themselves, and then open communication to then remedy that and install more date nights or time together, so that we can obviously have a better time. Or likewise, if you're single and you're struggling to actually find a consistent time to go meet people, maybe you start downloading apps, and maybe you work on your body and get some professional photos so you can improve that, and then you start going out and finding strategic ways to do that to meet people, right? Or maybe inside of fitness, you say, okay, great, I need to just start getting on a meal prep company because I don't have time to meal prep. Or maybe you say, hey, let me check out, Coach Munir's cookbook for the slow cooker that takes 30, 40 minutes a week, 10 minutes every other day, so that I can then meal prep so I'm not eating unhealthy, wasting money on Uber Eats and getting unhealthy, right? So you got to audit yourself, and you got to take action on the things that are obviously underperforming for you, okay? So that's the beautiful thing. And so you can see from this morning routine already, and then you plan based on how can I dominate today, that alone is going to make a massive difference, okay? From there, you just got to figure out what time you're going to start work, what do you need to eat in the morning, right, to get the results that you want and feel the way you want to feel. So we've got the hormonal optimization stack with the carrot salad that I've talked about in other videos, which is, all natural foods that you can get at Whole Foods or whatever health food stores in your area, or even at some of the normal stores in your area, that will help you to have optimal testosterone levels, estrogen levels, thyroid levels, all that other stuff. So you're in the best hormonal environment for energy and body composition, okay? Now, what should you eat for breakfast? Well, how much carbs, how much protein, how much fats, how many calories, what food sources don't cause inflammation? Again, you can watch my other videos, or you can drop a comment or DM or whatever on any of my platforms to specifically talk with me inside of the DMs or inside of the chats or the comments or whatever about the stuff, so I can give you some more specific advice, or just watch my videos, either or, right? And then obviously start taking action on that, right? And then what time do I need to work out at? How can I time block this in my day where it flows? You got to make sure the day flows so you develop a good rhythm. Let's say that you feel tired after you work out. Don't work out in the morning because you're going to be tired all day. Work out at night. If you're too tired at the end of the day to work out, maybe you work out midday. Maybe you find your workout energizing and you tend to get tired at like 2 p.m. anyways. So you work out at 2 p.m. or like at 1 p.m. so that instead of getting tired at 2 p.m., you have energy for the rest of the day because your workout got you energy. So you got to figure out the rhythms that work for you. And that's the tricky part, is nobody can tell you this. You have to experiment this on yourself. Okay. people can guide you on this. I can guide you on this, but you still have to experiment these things on yourself. What foods are inflammatory? Which ones do I process well? Okay, I've had other videos that I talk about this. And you just got to be able to audit these things and get crystal clear, and then obviously create the right rhythm for you after you've experimented. You will always be experimenting. You have different seasons of your life. Right now, if you don't have kids, then you have kids, you're going to have to adjust some things. If you live in one city right now and you're going to move to another city, you're going to have to adjust some things to fit your rhythm and traffic and whatever other factors are in that area, right? Let's say that inside of let's say you're an accountant and your busy season is, leading up to April. So you got to have a different schedule in March than you do in October, right? And likewise, if you're in maybe insurance, open enrollment is at the end of the year. So your busy season is November, but maybe March is more chill for you. So it just depends, and you're going to have to adjust accordingly. And obviously it helps to have a professional to consult with at the time. So open the conversation if you haven't already on any of my other platforms and channels, which obviously you can find the links on my profile, or I'll maybe attach them below too if I remember, or just comment and let me know and I can open the conversation with you. But again, you got to be able to then audit your life, your lifestyle, the season of your life that you're in, and take appropriate action to ensure that you're getting the results that you want to get. Okay. And that's where lifestyle comes in. So anyways, from there, so make sure that you're taking care of the business actions that you need to take care of. So if you're a business owner, marketing, fulfillment, sales, team management, operations, all these different things to make sure everything is happening, right? And then obviously if you're a professional, depending on your industry, there's a set of pillars of different tasks that you need to complete within your thing. So let's say that you're, in insurance sales, like one of my clients who I've brought up a couple times, right? So he needs to worry about pipeline, lead generation, lead follow-up, and then of course closing, all that stuff, right? Or I have another client who's let me think of another client who's in a counter industry, because a lot of my guys are entrepreneurs, or they're in sales in some way, or they're different professionals. Okay, I have a client who's a lawyer, right? So she was telling me that she needs to, I have a couple clients who are lawyers, but this particular client, she was telling me, I believe the pillars of her work are responding to emails, court, and different office work, data, accounting, stuff like that. So she needs to make sure that she's dividing those things to make sure that she's making time for those things every day or every week, or either devoting certain time blocks of hours where those things flow well for her, or devoting certain days where those things flow well. So for instance, for me, on Sunday, Monday, I spend the most time doing, or Sunday, Monday, Friday really are my client fulfillment heavy days. And obviously I do client fulfillment stuff, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well, and I take Saturdays off. But Sunday, Monday, and Friday are the 3 days where I do the most work to make sure that clients are getting results, managing my teams and of coaches who are responsible for getting clients results, stuff like that. Sunday I do my marketing planning, and then I have my meeting with my marketing director, and then that's pretty much it. I'll do other marketing stuff and shoot content throughout the week, but obviously that's my most heavy day marketing wise. But then I'll obviously do lives, and I'll do these videos, and now I'm doing a YouTube video a day. I'm going to do that every day, right? Sales I usually do Monday through Friday, right? So those are my more sales heavy days, just stuff like that. So and then team management, usually I have most of my team meetings on Sunday, but I'll also have midweek team meetings. So I have different time blocks and different days. And then obviously the hours, right? I usually will do consultations, aka sales, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on most days, and then 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Those are the hours that flow well for me. I usually work out between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's usually the range that works well for me, but that's all subject to change depending on the day, depending on the season. So it's you just got to find the rhythm that works for you. And then likewise with your social life, dating life, for me, usually I try to have something in the middle of the week, like a date in the middle of the week, because that just prevents me from, burning out, because it helps me refresh. So usually not Tuesday night, but sometimes, and then usually Wednesday night, sometimes Thursday night, sometimes all of the above. And then Friday, Saturday, I usually go out, or I'll have a date, again, just to make sure that I am consistently taking action in that domain of my life to ensure that it doesn't slide. And also I've created a rhythm with it to make sure it works. So if I have a date on Wednesday, because I have a business heavy week, that date helps me be less burnt out on Thursday, so I perform more efficiently in my business. So now I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm taking care of my dating life, taking action, but making sure that I'm not burnt out in my business, and I'm getting what I call a multiple ROI. You want to set up everything in your schedule to produce a multiple ROI. The morning routine is mostly for your mental health, but it has a multiple ROI, return on investment, in every other area of your life, because it makes you more clear, less triggered, more creative, more planned, more structured, more disciplined, better, right? And more energetic, more healthy, all that stuff, everything, all of the above. Working out helps you have more energy, more confidence, more health, more longevity, better presentation of yourself, everything. Which is obviously very helpful. The workouts and nutrition takes care of your energy, everything, right? So you're getting a multiple ROI in that inside of your business, your personal life, and your mental health, right? Likewise, having consistent dates or having consistent date nights with your partner is going to make sure that you also don't burn out, which positively affects your business, positively affects your mental and physical health because you're not burnt out. Your stress levels go down. And when your stress levels go down, your cortisol hormone goes down, which means your thyroid, testosterone go up. And if you're a woman, your progesterone to estrogen balance improves, right? So it's very helpful. And likewise, by making sure that you're taking care of yourself financially, you and your family do better, which is great for your balance and for your, relationships and dating life, if that's applicable to you, if you're single. And it's good for your physical and mental health because you're not stressed out, worried about money, but you're well taken care of and you can afford the organic food without being financially stressed. You can afford the trainers, programs, whatever. You can hire people to work for you to give you more of your time back, which is good for your mental health, stuff like that. So everything has a multiple ROI, and that's how you have to set up your schedule. So if you'd like some specific help on your schedule, what I'll do is I will either attach a calendar link below to book a consultation if we're currently taking consultations. If we're not, though, I'll just attach my other social links so you can DM me on any of the platforms and say, hey, just DM me with the word lifestyle, and from there we'll help you specifically with your lifestyle. So hope this video was helpful. One YouTube video a day. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.